Hi everybody, my name is Tom O'Reilly. I'm one of three senior training advisors here in the training centre in Kerry College, and I look after apprenticeship here.
Very good. Tom, can you give me an overview of how apprenticeships work in Ireland, what role Kerry College plays in the process, and maybe some of the minimum entry requirements for the apprenticeships?
Okay, well, you have asked a lot of questions there, but the minimum entry requirements to become an apprentice in Ireland is that you have a minimum of 5 passes in your junior cert. You can get into an apprenticeship from 16 years of age. Uh, I would think about 98 or 99% of all apprentices in Ireland today have their leaving cert done, though we do have apprentices who come in with just a junior cert. Um, that Kerry College's role in the apprenticeship system is that Kerry College run some of the apprenticeships. We run electrical, carpentry and joinery, plumbing, metal fabrication, fitting. We do apprenticeships here for phase 2 of the apprenticeship.
Okay, can you talk more about that, the structure? You said phase two?
Yep. Um, the apprenticeship itself is divided into 7 parts. They're called phases. So you have phases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All the uneven phases, so phases 1, 3, 5, and 7 are done with an employer, and phases 2, 4, and 6 are done. Phase 2 is done in a training centre like here, and phases 4 and 6 are done in an IT or a technological university.
Perfect. And is that for all types of apprenticeships? Do they all follow that format?
No, there are the traditional apprenticeships, of which there are 25, and there are a total of 77 apprenticeships at the moment. So the other 52 are called consortia-led apprenticeships, and they're also known as post-2016 apprenticeships. The traditional apprenticeships, the format of those are you have to get registered with an employer. You may have to do a colour vision test. That for some apprenticeships, 14 of the 25 apprenticeships, you have to have a colour vision test. So if you want to be an electrician, obviously you can't be colourblind. So you have to do a colour vision test. What we require is a copy of your colour vision test that you passed it. We need your apprenticeship registration form, of which this is one here. This is what it looks like. So that's an apprenticeship registration form that's given out to the employer, and it's completed by both the employer and the apprentice. So that comes back in here to me. And along with a colour vision test, a copy of your school exam results, your highest school exam results, and also a passport size colour photograph of yourself with your signature at the back of it. When we receive that, the company that has sent it in has to already be an approved company. So they have to be registered with SOLAS as an approved company. If they're an approved company and we get in these registration forms, we then just sign it, and your apprenticeship begins from when it's put up on the apprenticeship system.
Excellent. So, Tom, what qualifications will I earn by the end of the apprenticeship?
Every apprentice that completes his apprenticeship or her apprenticeship gets a QQI level 6 qualification, and that's got national and international recognition. So apprentices can go anywhere in the world once they've completed their apprenticeship. They can travel the world, and whatever trade they're in, you can be guaranteed they're going to be able to make money, and good money as well.
And how do these qualifications differ from a traditional third level qualification?
Well, like everybody doesn't want to go to college, and it's just another way of finding what suits you in life. You know, for some people, going to college is wonderful. I have a son that's going to college himself, and it's wonderful apart from the cost. But whereas in the earn while you learn, it's great. You know, a traditional apprenticeship is absolutely fantastic for anybody. But there aren't just the traditional apprenticeships, as I said. There are post-2016 apprenticeships, of which there are 52 of them, I believe, at the moment. And there's everything from accounting technician to cybersecurity. There's all sorts of stuff available. And the important thing is to look on the website, and you can see all the apprenticeships, and there's a breakdown of what's involved in them, how long they take. Some are 2 years, some are 3 years, and the traditional apprenticeships are all 4 years. So it's about finding what suits you.
And what happens if I struggle with the academic side of the apprenticeship? Are there supports available in the college?
Yeah, we have a support unit here in the training centre that all apprentices can avail of, depending on what a person needs. Sometimes an apprentice may need a reader during their apprenticeship when they're here. They may need a scribe to write the answers for them. And they also get taught maths for trades. So the specific trade that somebody is in, they get the maths specifically for that trade taught to them as well. So there is a support unit here.
And after completing an apprenticeship, what are my options for further education or career advancement?
Oh my goodness, you could do anything. That's what you can. I'm living proof of it. I'm here as a senior training advisor and started my apprenticeship. I was an apprentice a long, long time ago. But every one of us that ever did a traditional apprenticeship, we all get the same three things. You get skills, knowledge, and competence. And I always tell the apprentices, that skill is there in your two hands, the knowledge is in your head, and the competence through repetition. And when you have that skill, knowledge, and competence, you can take that anywhere in the world and you can be guaranteed you're going to be able to make money.
That's brilliant, Tom. Are there any other options that you would suggest?
Well, lots of apprentices go into self-employment when they've completed their apprenticeship, or somewhere down the road they may decide to become self-employed. And they end up taking on apprentices then themselves. You can use your level 6 qualification that will take you into college. I remember when the recession was here in 2008, an apprentice that I had here many years before that had decided that he wanted to become an engineer. So he used his level 6 qualification to go to college, and he went and became an engineer. So yeah, there are huge options out there for anybody that wants to move on and do something else.
So you said an employer needs to be registered with Solus. Am I responsible for finding that employer myself, or does Kerry College get involved?
It is really the responsibility of the young person that's looking to get into an apprenticeship to go out and to find an employer. Now, what a real important piece for any young person looking to get into an apprenticeship, or a parent that's trying to give them advice as well, if you go onto apprenticeship.ie, you will see a list of all the employers in Kerry, and you can do a Google search for the company, and they show all the different trades, and you can look at those. You have to contact the employer yourself, and really it's about selling yourself. It's like anybody going for an interview. You have to go in and you have to front up and say, why should you take me on as an apprentice?
Well, that was my next question. Do you have any tips or tricks when approaching an employer?
I suppose, as I said to you earlier there, that 14 out of the 25 apprenticeships require a colour vision test for them to be completed. I would say to anybody, if you're looking to look for an employer, contact us here in the training centre, and we will give you a copy of the colour vision test. Go away and do that colour vision test in advance. If you're going to be working on a building site, you will need to have Safe Pass as well in order to work on a building site. So if you can go and do a course for Safe Pass, it's only like a half-day course. So if you went to an employer and you say, I have the colour vision test done, I have the Safe Pass done, you're at least showing the employer that you're being proactive, and that way you're kind of selling yourself. But ultimately, that's what it's about, selling yourself.
Tom, how does the earn while you learn model work exactly? Are there set wages for apprenticeships, or does it vary by employer?
The wages that an apprentice gets when they're with the employer is determined. It's between the employer and the apprentices. We have no role with regard to wages that employers pay apprentices. But when an apprentice is in a training centre or in the college, there are set wages that an apprentice is entitled to get paid, depending on the year of their apprenticeship. So if they're a second-year apprentice, they will get the second-year rate. If they're a third-year apprentice, they'll get that, and the same with the fourth-year apprentice.
So those rates are a minimum rate, and the employer might add to that based on their own discretion.
No. The rates that we pay them are rates that are determined by the unions, and Solus pay the rates that they're supposed to pay. When it comes to the employer, it's between the employer and the apprentice to negotiate on the rate of pay that an apprentice gets.
So you could be on two different rates of pay based on what stage you're on within your apprenticeship.
Oh yeah, you could, yeah. Well, you're only getting one payment. You get paid by us when you're not with the employer, and you get paid by the employer when you're with them.
I understand.
But you're always earning throughout the apprenticeship.
And are there any government grants or financial supports available for apprentices?
In the traditional apprenticeships, there are no grants available. But I've looked at it one time, and I think if you look at an apprenticeship, the government, in the traditional apprenticeships, the government spend probably over 100,000 euros on every apprentice that does an apprenticeship, because my salary has to get paid, all the staff have to get paid, the college lecturers have to get paid, everything, the facilities and all the things that go with it, that there's a huge investment in an apprentice during their apprenticeship. They also provide the wages that the apprentices get. On average, apprentices during the 3 off-the-job phases 2, 4 and 6, they will get somewhere between 22 and 24,000 euros paid to them while they're off the job.
And will an apprentice have to pay any tuition fees?
They will. When the apprentice goes to the college phase, that's phase 4 and phase 6 of the apprenticeship, they have to pay tuition or college fees the same as any person that goes to college. Those fees at the moment have been reduced. They're 670 euros, but the normal fee is 1,000 euros for phase 4 and 1,000 euros for phase 6. And we kind of presume that it's going to go back to 1,000 euros this September. But they have to be paid. And if the apprentice does not pay them, which we have to emphasize to the apprentices all the time, if you leave the college €5 short, they will not release your results. So the fee has to be paid before your results will be sent out.
So, Tom, what industries or trades in Kerry or in Ireland in general have the highest demand for apprentices right now?
Well, the electrical apprenticeship in Ireland is the most popular apprenticeship. After that, you have carpentry and joinery and plumbing. Those are the 3 real top apprenticeships in Ireland. But that doesn't mean everybody has to go into it. As I said, there are 25 apprenticeships, and it's about finding which one suits you. And again, that you can make money in every one of them that you can, and they're a wonderful way to go through life, having an apprenticeship.
And can an apprenticeship lead to international work opportunities, or the qualifications mostly recognised in Ireland?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. With an Irish qualification, QQI level 6 qualification, you can travel anywhere in the world. There are vast numbers of apprentices in Australia, in Canada, over in the UK. We constantly get calls and emails from apprentices who are in Australia, where when they go there, they have their level 6 qualification, but if they're intending on staying in Australia, there has to be proof of the 7 phases of their apprenticeship. So we put paperwork together and we email that back onto them. But yeah, they have absolutely huge opportunities as they have abroad. And lots of apprentices do decide that they want to give a year or 2 years traveling the world and seeing something different.
And where would I go to find more information on apprenticeships in general?
Possibly the most important thing in all the questions that you've asked me, how do I find out about this stuff? You've got career guidance people in schools that give information, but for a parent or a young person that's looking to get into an apprenticeship, the first port of call, I would say, is to go to apprenticeship.ie. Every apprenticeship that there is in Ireland being done, the whole 77 of them, you can find out information on each one of them, what the educational requirements are for them, what the qualification is that you get from them. The qualifications that are available at the moment are from level 6 all the way up to level 9 qualifications. So looking on apprenticeship.ie, seeing what's there, finding out what suits you, what you would like to do, have you got the education requirements in order to get into that apprenticeship, and going from there. Also, it is very important that both myself as a training advisor, Elaine Sharp as a training advisor, Pat Dunworth as a training advisor here, all 3 of us here in Kerry, if you contact the training centre, they will put you through to us and we will give you all the information that you require in relation to an apprenticeship. So whatever you decide to do in the future, best of luck to you.